again, today, ladies, I'm not wearing my shoes. That is a personal preference. I think I've said before, I'm still waiting for my new shoes to arrive. So whenever I don't have to wear them, I'm not going to wear my old, disgusting, sweaty shoes. So I'm not wearing shoes today. I don't think we're not jumping around, we're not doing anything crazy. So personal preference, not a requirement. You don't have to be like copy Deb 100%. Only when I say let's get started. Okay, so let's get started. Let's just take a nice little march on one spot, get our body nice and warm, start to roll those shoulders. Today we are doing an endurance style core workout. Again, targeting those core muscles through the obliques, through the back. And I'm going to ask or challenge or request, when you can, throw in some upper body weights if you can. Again, optional. Just roll those shoulders back and forth. Just try and get that upper body nice and loose. We'll take this march wide, start to pump our arms. Good. We're going to tap and reach. Good, nice soft bend through the knees. Reach nice and long. Get that back stretching. Get those obliques long. Good, let's take this reach in front of us now. Coming over. Again, targeting more between your shoulder blades. Twisting out that spine a bit. And getting that heart rate up. Good, let's take this reach down towards our toes. Just now getting more towards the middle of your back. Good, making sure we're twisting that chest just a tad. All right, let's take this back too. Right in front of us, reach into the middle of those shoulder blades. Good. We'll take it now over our heads, getting that whole back nice and long. Good. And let's march it out right here. Take those arms, pull them right behind your back. Then as if you're diving in a pool, round out those shoulders. Really try and curve through that back. Get it nice and long. Good. Now let's take this the other way, like you're doing the backstroke, except you're doing it a double backstroke. And I'm trying to envision how this would look in the pool. I think I'd be sinking to the bottom right now. Good. All right. Let's come to the end of our mat. We're going to do our sitting on our feet, knees apart. We're going to walk ourselves or pull ourselves forward, our hands underneath the shoulders. We're on our knees. We're going to pull our body right to the floor. Push up, push our bum back to those feet, and then come back to the floor. Really getting that whole body nice and warm. Rocking that body down to the floor, and then pulling your bum right over to your feet. How far your knees are spread apart is up to you. I'm about mat foot apart. You want to feel this in through that lower back too. Let's do 3 more. 2 more. And final one right here. And pull it up. Come sitting onto your bum. We're going to just do, you go down as far as you're personally comfortable. You're going to start shoulders down, squeeze the bum, belly button tucked to that spine. You're just going to go step by step. Pull it down, just engaging that core. You don't have to go all the way down to the floor. You can go as far as you feel is comfortable, and then just start to make your way back up. We're just getting these full abdominal muscles here nice and warm. Go at your own pace. Make sure you're not holding your breath. Good, we're gonna do it one more time. Making sure if you're coming lower down, you're gonna roll through that lower back. Good, and shake it all out. Okay, since we're sitting down, this is where we're gonna start. Big breath in, take a sip of water if you want. As mentioned, we're doing an endurance style, so all 10 exercises to start is gonna be 1 minute, then we're gonna do 40 seconds, 30 seconds, 20 seconds. And we're gonna start with a leg drop with a reach. So you can do this with or without a weight. If you wanna increase the intensity, you can use the weight. Maybe you might wanna wait to the lower interval round, so the 30-second to 20-second to add the weight. It's up to you. We're gonna first make sure those hips are pulled right into our pelvis so that lower back is completely to the floor. Legs come up, they can be at 90 or they can be straight. Hands, with or without a weight, is gonna draw directly up from your shoulders. You're gonna lower those legs as low as you want so they can come to the floor. Maybe they just do a little bit if you're bent or long. You're gonna lower those legs down, squeeze up with those arms there, and then when you come back to center, reach up with those hands or weight, keeping your chin off your chest. Pull it up, and then come back down. All right? That's our 1 minute. Here we go. In 3, 2, go for it. Right here, we want to squeeze that bum all the way down. It doesn't have to be fast. Nice and controlled. Back up and down, and then reach up, keeping that chin off our chest. Belly button pushes right into our spine. You're going to exhale as you reach up. Inhale as you're back to the floor, and then exhale as you lower those legs. Inhale when you come back up. So remember, if your back is popping, maybe you bend those legs a bit. Maybe you don't go down as far. Maybe you take out the reach if you're feeling any neck pain. But what we want to do is avoid that by pulling into that belly button and exhaling that breath and really leading with that weight rather than our neck. Squeeze that bump nice and tight as you lower those legs, regardless of how fast or far you go down. You want to keep that lower back right to the mat. We're almost there in 3, 2, and we're resting right here. We're going to turn around. You don't need to wait for this next one. We're going to throw ourselves into a high plank position. We're going to pike our bum up nice and high as if you're doing a downward dog. And then as we come back into that plank, we're going to drive our knee into that same elbow. Pull that leg right nice and high, and then drive our knee to the opposite. Pull it high, drive our knee to the elbow. So you're doing a spider and a crossover on the same leg. If we're doing this through our knees, you're coming up, more in a box position, and coming over. Same thing if you're on the wall. Throw that leg up, drive it up, out, and drive it over. Okay, here's a minute on one side only. Here we go. In 3, 2, go for it. So start off in that tight position and then use that leg. You want to bring the leg down between each set. You can do that as well. Squeeze that bum. Pull that belly button right to that spine. You want to draw the knee to the outside of the elbow. Then cross it over to the inside of that opposite elbow. Really feel that torso get nice and short. We're at 20 seconds right here. Pulling that belly button right to that spine. Keeping that bump nice and tight. 10 seconds. Here we go in 3, 2, and rest it right here. Swing out those arms. We're going to give those arms a break as we turn over back onto our backs. Again, you can grab a weight if you like. Now, if you were swinging into your right elbow and then crossing over to your left, basically using your right oblique, You're gonna put your right leg on top of your knee. So whatever side you worked before, that's the same side you're gonna have on your knee. Hands come over our head. We're gonna squeeze in, push those hips into the mat, and then come up for that chop. Then we're gonna keep that lower back right onto the floor. So if I was coming this way, chop that weight. You can have it up, or you can take it long. Squeeze that bump. All right, so you want to keep it on one side, the same side you were just working. Here we go for that cross chomp in 3, 2. Remember, you don't have to have a weight here. We want to make sure that that lower back pushes into the mat, does not come off the floor. The only thing twisting is that hand and weight coming to the opposite hip. Keep that chin well off our chest, so you should be able to fit an apple there. Our bum is nice and tight. And we're really pushing that belly button right into that spine. Big inhale, our hands are overhead. Exhale as we chop down. Really trying to lift those shoulders off the floor for a deeper chop. Squeeze those glutes. Push into that belly button. Really feel that oblique kick in 3, 2, and we're resting right here. Good job. Grab a sip of water whenever you like. We're gonna come back onto that plank position. We're gonna do the other side for that tuck spider to cross over. So it's the opposite leg that you tucked before. Here we go. In 3, 2, go for it. Draw that knee right to that elbow if you can, as close as you can. Try and pike that bum and leg up nice and high. Bring that head between those arms. Squeeze that bum. Keep that belly button twist or tucked right to that spine. Take a look at that knee as you draw it in for a little bit more engagement. Good. Make sure those hands are underneath our shoulders for upper body support. We are almost down to 10 seconds. In 5, 3, 2, and rest it here. Swing out those arms. Grab a sip of water. We are coming back onto our backs for the opposite side crunch. So again, if you're working that left side, now you're crunching to that left side. Good. All right. So just in case, I didn't mention it the first round, but if you really are having a lot of neck pain or not finding the crunch that doable, you can always do repeater twisters, coming over and down. All right. Foot on top of your knee for 1 minute in 3, 2. Pull those hips right into your spine, or right into your pelvis, sorry. So that lower back is glued right to that floor. So we're lifting those shoulders up and chopping that hand down. Really feeling everything tighten up. You want to lengthen that torso, then shorten it. Big inhales, your arms are above your head. Exhale as they're down. Squeeze that bum, keep that bum nice and tight. Keep that lower back engaged and keep that core engaged. You're gonna feel this through those obliques. The more your bum is tight. We're almost there. The heavier your weight is, the more you're gonna feel this. The more you lift those shoulders, the more you're gonna feel this. So different ways to intensify this. In 3, 2, and rest it right here. Good job. Alrighty. Coming onto our hands and knees. We're gonna try and hit the end of our mat here where we start. We're gonna start in a plank position. Then I want you to pipe that bum and walk those hands towards your feet, trying to keep the legs as straight as possible, maybe a slight bend, and then walk back into plank. So there's stationary kind of inchworms here, coming up and coming down. We're never standing fully up, and we're gonna hit that strong plank. We're gonna do that for 1 minute. Here we go, in 3, 2, and pipe that bum, keep that belly button into that spine. Someone has a string pulling that belly button through that spine. As you lift that bum up, walk those hands towards your knees, and then walk it back to that nice strong plank, squeezing those glutes, tucking those hips to shoulder level, keeping a nice neutral back. Really tucking right into that spine, keeping that bum nice and tight. The core should be nice and hollowed as you come in and out of that plank. We got 20 seconds right here. Really feel that string. Pull that belly button, bend those knees for that modification in 5, 3, 2, and we're resting it right here. Good job. All right. Coming to a seated position. We're gonna grab a weight if we like. And we're gonna do a Russian twist. So we're gonna twist to one side, bringing our shoulders right to our wall, then reach up to the other side and come back. The more you lean back, the little bit harder, more engagement is gonna be, more intensity. You can even lift those legs up and reach as you come. All right, now if the reaching is getting you off rhythm, just do a twist. I'll try to walk you through it. Here we go, 1 minute. 3, 2, go for it. Squeeze those glutes. So you're tucking to your hip, then you're reaching to the opposite side, back to the hip, and then switch over. Again, if that reach just feels like you're getting off rhythm and you're not getting the benefit of the twist, take out the reach. We want to make sure that we turn that shoulder girdle. So we're not just moving our hands. That whole chest turns over. Bum's nice and tight. Belly button tucked to that spine. So we're hollowing out this core. 20 seconds right here. Squeeze those glutes. Keep that lower back nice and engaged. In 5, 4, 3, 2, and we're resting it right here. Good job. All right, coming onto our backs. Again, grabbing weights if you like. We're gonna throw ourselves in to a dead bug position. So hips tuck into our back, legs come up into 90, arms up in front of our head or straight from our shoulder. Weights in our hands if you want to intensify this. We're gonna take one arm back, one leg down. Trying to leave that leg and arm very still. If it's the opposite leg and arm, you're not moving. Okay, notice how I'm taking my heels down. I'm not lengthening the legs and then bending them because we've got extra weight in there, so we're really trying to control the movement. Here we go for dead bug. 1 minute in 3, 2, weighted dead bugs right here. That lower back is absolutely glued to the floor. So if you're feeling like it's popping up, then maybe you just go a little bit down. Go towards what your back is telling you. If your back pops up, you're not getting the benefit of this movement. This is one of the best core movements around, as it really engages that entire core, targeted those lower abdominals, adding weights into our arms, You feel it through those upper abdominals. Everything is just glued to that mat, coming right to the floor. Exhales, you pull those down. Inhales, you're back to center. Woo! Feeling this. Really think about nothing under that back in 3, 2, and we're resting right here. Good job. Weights come to the side. Last 2 in this circuit before we get to take some time off the clock. We're going to go into a low plank position. So shoulders and elbows nice and aligned. We're going to either come in through our knee, so hip comes up and weight goes into that knee with the leg on top, or you can go into a full plank. So you can do a hip, we're going to do a hip dip, arm up, and then we're going to do a thread the needle. Hip dip to thread the needle. So it's alternating between the two, and thread the needle, you're going to just thread that hand, turning that chest right to the mat. You can do this from the wall, through an incline position. All right, long or use your knee, it's up to you. 1 minute in 3, 2, go for it. Lead with those hips. Pull that hip up just above neutral to get in and around through that thread the needle. You don't have to do a full plank. You can opt to do that knee plank. Squeeze that bum. Keep that bum nice and tight. You want to keep the bum tight. You want to tuck that belly button in. Put the weight into the center of your body. Squeeze the legs to ground yourself, so we're not overloading that shoulder. We are 20 seconds right here. Keep everything nice and controlled. Bum is so tight. We're keeping that lower back nice and engaged. In 5, 3, 2, and we're resting it right here. Roll that shoulder out, shake out that arm, turn around. We're going to do the exact same thing on the other side. And then we get to take time off this clock. Through the knees or through the toes, it's up to you. Squeeze that bum in 3, 2, go for it. Turn that chest right to the mat. Squeeze that bum. Pull that belly button right into that spine. Dip those hips. You're just slightly touching that mat as you come down, and then you're going to pull those hips above neutral, so you're not coming back for a nice plate. You're actually pulling those hips up so you can come around for that thread the needle. 30 seconds. Working on our back, working those obliques, working that upper body, working that core. It's all connected. We are hitting that 10-second mark. Almost there. In 3, 2, and rest it right here. Roll out that shoulder. Grab a sip of water. We get to go back to the top. And now we get to take 40 seconds off the clock. No, 20 seconds off the clock to move to a 40-second round. You guys got too excited there. All right, so 20 seconds come off the clock. This is our 40-second round. We're starting with that leg drop with that reach. Remember, you can add that weight in for an optional added intensity. All right, pull those hips right into your pelvis. Lift those legs up, can be straight or bent. 40 seconds, squeeze those glutes in 3, 2, lower those legs as low as your back lets you. Remember, we're exhaling that breath as we lower those legs. Inhales, you're back to center. Then exhales, you reach up. Really trying to target that entire core today. Separating those lower abdominals with that leg drop, and then upper abdominals with that reach up. Trying to lift those shoulders off the floor. Keeping that chin off our chest. So look at the ceiling, find a spot, and just keep your gaze. Really push into the mat to keep that pressure off your neck in 3, 2, and we're resting right here. Good job. Safely cycle up. We're going to turn ourselves around to that repeater, pike to spider, pike to crossover. Here we go, 40 seconds. In 3, 2, go for it. Really try to draw that knee right over and right up to that elbow. Squeeze those glutes. Try and pike that bum. Nice and high. Hand comes between your arms. When we're piking, head between the arms. When we're planking, arms underneath those shoulders. 10 seconds. Squeeze that bum. In 3, 2, and rest it here. Good job. Over onto our backs. We're going to do that cross chomp, crunch chomp, not cross chomp, crunch chomp. Now remember, if you were swinging that left leg, you're putting that left leg on the right leg. You mix it up, it's okay. This is just to feel more intensity. Here we go. 40 seconds, chop it down in 3, 2, go for it. Lift those shoulders right up. See if you can get that belly button pushed into the spine and pull that back and push it right into that mat. Squeeze that bum, keep it nice and tight. You'll notice the difference when it's loose to when it's tight. Inhale nice and big as you lift those arms above your head. Power that arm down as you exhale. Power it down. Nice controlled movement back. Almost there in 3, 2, and we are resting right here. Good job. Cycle yourself up, turn it around. Opposite side now. Repeater spider to crossover. Here we go. In 3, 2, go for it. Draw that knee right into that elbow. Right to the outside while we're spiraling. Right to the inside as you're crossing over. Squeeze those glutes. Keep those hips in a nice neutral position so our back is nice and neutral. 10 seconds. In 5, 3, 2, and rest it right here. Good job. All right. Now we are going to pull over to the other side. Opposite leg comes onto that knee. Grab your weight if you're using one. Chomp it down in 3, 2, go for it. Pull that belly button right to the spine. Squeeze those glutes. Really think about pushing that back right into the floor. Shoulders come up. You're really just lifting that chest up and then chopping those hands to the opposite side of your body. Right outside that knee. Down towards your hip if you can. Almost there. Squeeze that bum nice and tight. Pull that belly button right in 3, 2, and we're resting it right here. Good job. All righty. Coming to the end, or starting ourselves up into a plank. Making sure our feet are right at the end of our mat. We're going to do that stationary inchworm there. Here we go. 40 seconds. Start in that plank and then pike your bum up in 3, 2, go for it. Walk those hands towards your feet. Try to keep those legs as straight as possible. Then squeeze those glutes into that nice strong plank as you walk it back out. Hands come underneath your shoulders. We're not dipping our hips low. We're keeping that back nice and neutral. Belly buttons pulled right into that spine. In 5, 3, 2, and we are resting it right here. Good job. All right, Russian twist, leaning back, adding that reach if you opt to. Here we go. In 3, 2, go for it. Starting off in your hip, reaching to the opposite side, coming back to that hip and then pulling over to the opposite side. Lean back as far as your back lets you, so you're squeezing into those glutes. Your belly button's still being pulled into that spine. Legs are nice and tight, keeping a nice lower body contraction, which also helps with that lower back. Less than 10. We're turning those shoulders. We're not letting our arms do the work. In 3, 2, and we're resting it right here. 3 more before we get to take another 10 seconds off the clock. Let's come down onto our backs, those weighted dead bugs. Pull those hips into the mat. Lower back glute to the floor. Here we go. In 3, 2, go for it. Opposite hand, opposite legs. Just tap that heel down and control that arm. You don't want the weights to be so heavy that when you go to pull back, the weights pull you down. You really want control of those weights. Keep that back right flat to the mat. The belly button is kissing that spine. We're squeezing our bums as we pull those legs down. Almost there in 3, 2, and we're resting right here. Cycling yourself up. Nice and easy. Let's pull ourselves into that side plank position for those hip dips and thread the needle. Make sure those shoulders are underneath those arms in 3, 2, go for it right here. Hip dips. Remember, we're pulling that hip up just a bit higher so we can turn into that thread the needle. Squeezing that bum, pulling that belly button right to our spine. Turning that chest towards the mat. Pulling that arm through like we're reaching for something on the other side. Bum is nice and tight. 10 seconds. Right here. In 5, 3, 2, and let's turn it over to the other side. Lining yourself up. Squeeze into those glutes. Remember, you can have your knee down. You could be doing this from the wall. Here we go. In 3, 2, go for it. Good. Remember that elbow is tucked right underneath your shoulder. And then we're squeezing in through the bum, pulling in through the belly button, keeping those legs nice and tight so we're not overloading that shoulder. Our weight is from the top half down. Shoulder is just for stability. We're not weight bearing. Weight into those hips. Almost there. In 3, 2, and rest it right here. All right, grab that sip of water. We are moving down. 10 more seconds to our 30-second round. Okay. Starting on our back. Fixing the hair just a bit. Starting on our back. We're going to do our lower leg drops. Lower leg drops, well, that's kind of redundant because your legs are lower anyway. All right, leg drops with the reach. 30 seconds. Here we go in 3, 2, Go for it. So as we come down into these lower intervals, we're going to speed up the rest time. So we're not going to have as much. I know it doesn't feel like we've had a lot of rest, but we're really going to just transition from one move to another. Now, if you want to intensify it through these lower rounds, maybe you add a heavier weight or try to push those shoulders up off the floor a little bit more. But remember, we don't sacrifice form for intensity. In 3, 2, and we're resting right here. Let's turn it around. Hike that spider and crossover. Here we go. In 3, 2, go for it right here. We're really trying to pipe that bum up nice and high. So we have a nice long movement towards those elbows. Lengthening that torso and shortening it. Working that stability leg. In 3, 2, and resting here. Turning around. We're moving to that chop. Remember, if you were on the left side, you're going to stay with that left chop. In 3, 2, go for it right here. Pulling that weight right down to your hip. Maybe you didn't use a weight in the first 2 rounds and you want to intensify it through these shorter rounds. Or maybe you did, you want to increase it. Or try to get those shoulders a little bit higher. Hold that belly button into that spine. Squeeze that bum. Feel that torso. Shorten right through that chop. In 3, 2, and rest it here. Let's turn this around. Hike, spider, and crossover. Here we go. In 3, 2, go for it right here. Take a peek at that knee. See where it's going. It also engages those obliques a little bit more. Drive that leg up and then drive it into that elbow. 10 seconds. And 3, 2, and rest it here. Good job. Onto our backs. That same leg. Let's put it onto our knee. Get ready for that chop. In 3, 2, squeeze those bums. Pull that chest up. Chin off our chest. Chop those hands down. Try to get right to those hips. Lift that chest up by pulling that belly button right into that spine. Our neck and head is weightless as we pull everything into that torso, everything into the bum, everything into the belly button. In 3, 2, and we're resting it right here. Cycle yourself up. We are moving into our walkout. All right. Starting in that plank position, we're going to walk back up and down in that inchworm. In 3, 2, here we go. Walk it up. Pull that bum up nice and high. Keep those legs as straight as you can. And don't forget to squeeze into that bump as you get back into that plank. Your belly button is holding that spine up. Really tucking the pelvis into those hips. We're almost there. In 5, 3, 2, and rest it right here. Good job. Let's move into that twist. Grabbing that weight. So maybe here, you grab a heavier weight. Maybe you lean back a bit more. Maybe you lift those legs up. Here we go. In 3, 2, go for it. Go to your own level. If you feel good just staying at the same tempo you did the first 2 rounds, that is perfectly okay. It's all about Working the muscles that are supposed to be worked. Not about looking a certain way or trying something that maybe might not feel right. Squeeze that bum. In 3, 2, and rest it here. 3 more, and then we're in our final round. Weighted dead bugs right here. Here we go. In 3, 2, push those hips right into the mat, right into that pelvis. Squeeze those glutes. Tap that heel down if you're going all the way to the floor. Controlled arms. Everything is pushed right into that mat. The whole back is just right, squishing everything in. No bubbles whatsoever. In 5, 3, 2, and rest it here. Cycle yourself up. Let's move ourselves into our side plank positions for hip dips and thread the needle. Squeeze that bum nice and tight. Line yourself up. In 3, 2, go for it. Keep that bum nice and tight. Keep that belly button nice and tucked. Pull those hips up so you can twist your chest around. Really feeling the ribs kind of sink in. Bum's nice and tight. 10 seconds right here. Squeeze the bum. Pull into that core. You're almost there. 3, 2, and we're resting it. Turn it around. All right, last time before our rapid round. Squeeze that bum in. 3, 2, go for it. Remember that knee can come down, so you've got a little bit more support. You can do this from the wall, from the couch, whatever works. You really want to pretend you're reaching for something as you thread that needle. 10 seconds. Almost there in 3, 2, and resting right here. Grab some water. Whew. We're going right to the end today. All right, here we go. 20 seconds every round. No rest, just transition. I'm just gonna call it and you join in when you can. Here we go, starting with those leg drops with reaches. In 3, 2, go for it right here. Leg drops with reaches. Squeeze and reach. Keep that lower back right to the floor. Almost ready. In 3, 2, and let's turn it around. Move to that pike to spider. In 3, 2, drive it right in. Pull that knee right across, then right to that knee or right to that elbow. Squeeze that bum, pull that belly button in 3, 2, and let's switch it up. Turn it around. Chop it up. In 3, 2, go for it. Even though we're moving quickly, still take time to set yourself up properly. 2 good ones is better than 10 bad ones. Squeeze that glute. Pull those away, hands right down in 3, 2. Let's go back to our pike to spider. Pull it up. Drive it in. Belly button nice and tucked. In 3, 2, and let's go. Chop it up. Right to the side. Join in when you can. Squeeze that bum. Pull that belly button right down. Don't forget to breathe. In 3, 2, and let's come in for those walkouts. Throw yourself in that plank position. Hike your bum up. Walk yourself up. Walk yourself back. Keep that bum nice and tight. Almost there. In 3, 2, and let's sit it down. Let's Russian twist it. 3, 2, go for it. Push yourself if you can. Squeeze into those glutes. Almost there. In 3, 2, rest it here. Weighted dead bugs. Grab those weights. Pull those backs right to the floor. Opposite hand, opposite leg. Squeeze that back. Squeeze that bum. Everything's flat to the mat. Almost there. In 3, 2, let's throw it into our side plank. Hip dip. And thread that needle. Keep that bum nice and tight. Throw those hips up nice and high. Thread that needle. In 3, 2, and switch it over to the other side. Last 20 seconds right here. When you're ready, go for it. Really keep that bum nice and tight. Almost there. In 3, 2, and that's the end of our 20-second round. Nicely done, ladies. Sorry I've gone over my time today. Let's stretch it out. I understand if you need to leave. You do need to leave. Please make sure you give yourself a couple minutes to stretch out that back. Let's start on our back and take our hands above our head and legs are nice and long. Really just take a big breath in, reaching with those toes, reaching with those fingers, and lengthening that body. Big breath in and out. Let's take our knees into our chest. Wrap those hands around your shins. We're going to take a nice big breath in here. Tuck those knees right to our chest, lifting the tailbone off the floor. Exhaling, replacing it back down. Big inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. One more time. Inhale and exhale. Take one foot down, keep one leg up, hands behind those thighs. We're going to cycle ourselves up, turn ourselves onto our hands and knees, and we are going to do our cat-cow, lengthening out that back. Hands right underneath those shoulders, knees underneath your hips. Take your chin into your chest and round out that back. Big breath in here. Exhale. Leave that back to neutral. Head comes up to your shoulders. Curl back in. Round out that back. Exhale. Nice neutral back. One more time. Big breath in. And out. Tuck the toes to the mat. Start to walk those hands towards your knees. Come onto the balls of your feet. And then slowly pull your bum into the air and start to slowly come up with your head tucked towards your chest. We're going to pull those arms above our head. Big breath in here. Exhale, reach over to one side, drop that hand and reach down to the floor, just lengthening out. Those obliques, pushing this hip out. And come back up to center. Come over to the other side, drop it down and reach. And back up. Roll those shoulders forward and even bend at the waist a bit and just kind of curve out that spine. Get nice and loose. Big breath in through those shoulders, right up to your ears. Pull them back. Exhale down. Bring up. Pull back and down. One more time. And shake it all out. Good job. Thanks, ladies. Sorry I went long and rushed through the stretch. If you feel like you need to stretch more, please do. Whew.